Andre, what do you think of the Supreme Court's decision that the Affordable Care Act is constitutional? Is there anything with the health care bill that you disagree with?
There's a great deal that I disagree with. Number one, they upheld it as a tax. And the fact of the matter is, it's not a tax, it's a penalty. And it's a penalty for not purchasing something that maybe you can't afford. As I know, when I was starting out as a contractor, and I have guys that are contractors, we try to do a lot better than what a lot of these companies do. But when you're a contractor, you have a very, very high price plan that you can purchase. Now, it's available to you, yes, but at a very high cost. And they can't afford it. Most of them can't because they're not making that much money. Contracting organizations do their best to keep their profits high, and they minimize the payout. So these guys are going to get penalized under that because there's no provision for temporary employees.
Okay.
And so when we're looking at that, we have to address that situation if we're going to do that. And they make up the majority and a growing majority of the working class today because not all companies, many companies, most companies are not hiring full-time employees anymore. They're hiring contractors or temporary attempts to hire, possibly to hire.
Harry, answer the question or I'll get back to Andre.
What?
Do you agree with the Supreme Court's decision? And
no, I don't agree with the Supreme Court's decision, and neither do 70% of the American people. But I don't think most people like the way President Obama, this Obamacare approach, doesn't do a thing to solve any of the problems of health care. It doesn't bring down the costs. The real costs of health care are the fact that we have a system that works on commission. It's called fee for service. The doctors and the hospitals are all on commission. So they're performing tens of millions of dollars worth of unneeded procedures or surgeries because they're on commission. That's how they make their money. We should have a nonprofit healthcare system where you only have work done if it's needed, and the medical practitioners should not financially benefit by these procedures.
Harry, we were talking about, you were talking about how the medical system, the doctors should be on salaries. So doctors
like they are in the military.
Like they are in the military, and that it shouldn't be fee for service because that is can be a conflict of interest. It's a slippery slope.
Well, what do you mean maybe a conflict of interest, Judy? If a surgeon's going to make $10,000 in fees, that is a conflict of interest. And the point is we cannot afford it. We don't need health insurance for everyone. We need health care for everyone. 1/3 of the cost of health care goes to insurance companies that don't do a thing to help do health care.
Now, can I ask you this?
Let me just make a quick point. If we're going to have insurance, that also should be run on a non-profit basis. There's no way it can be cheaper when you have all these private sector management teams who do everything they can to maximize profits and screw patients.
So you're talking about a single-payer system, basically.
Absolutely.
All right, thank you.
But it needs to be a non-profit single-payer system so that we can get our health care costs in line because they alone are bankrupting the United States.
So, Andre, before you rebut, did you know that out of the 32 developed countries in the world, the United States is the only one that doesn't have a universal health care program? And
yes, I do.
Okay, and I want you to address that, please.
Yep. One of the things that I kind of agree with Harry, but I also believe in basically a capitalist system. But I do agree that we have to have health care and not health insurance. The problem is that what we're doing is allowing the doctors and the insurance companies to do the same thing that we do in every other sector. And that is they're able to manipulate the system and utilize every method and means to maximize their profit. And it's at the expense of the American people. We have legislation in place that... Hello?
Okay.
I'm sorry. It sounded like something went out there.
Well, that's
we have legislation
because
in place.
your time's up.
Oh, okay, I see.